Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today we're going to go over a quick guide on mod energy use, what you should be using your mod energy on, and also just some quick little tips on uh, some good ways to get some slicing material and mods that you really should be capitalizing on. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. Mod challenges and mod battles. This is the area where you're going to be using your mod energy. So if you look at your mod challenges is where you're going to spend your energy to get new mods. So these challenges all have different primary sets. So speed, potency, offense, tenacity, crit chance, crit damage, defense, and health. I would say arguably the most important one is, of course, the speed mods. The second you get access to tier 3 mods, the challenges for those mods, you should never do tier 2 or tier 1 because, as you can see, they reward lesser dot mods, and those lesser dot mods are absolute garbage. If you have any in your account, sell them, get rid of them. They're useless. You don't need them. Just use 5 dot or 6 dot mods. All right, so once you get access to it, you should be simming these mods as much as you can. All right, and then for the slicing material, so I'm going to go over the key slicing materials that you're going to need when you're farming these nodes. So it's more as needed. I can't tell you farm this battle or that battle. You just kind of have to gauge what you need, but I will go over what the key pieces are that you're looking for. All right, so first of all, you're going to be using mod battle 9A, 9B, and 9C. So 9B and 9A, that's where you get 5 dot slicing materials from gray to green, green to blue, blue to purple, purple to gold. And then 9C, this one right here, the Mark 1 amplifier, that's where you're going to be going from 5 dot 5 gold to 6 dot mods, same as these. I've noticed that I get enough of these Mark II pulse modulators passively that I've never had to farm this node. And same thing with the Mark II circuit breaker module. I haven't had to farm these. These are single drop where these are triple drop. So I try not to farm these. If you absolutely run into an issue where you don't have any Mark II pulse modulators, you can buy them in the shops, but you can also farm them here if you absolutely need to. But otherwise, for the vast majority of players, they're not going to be an issue because you get them passively. So I wouldn't recommend farming 9F. You get those passively as well. It's expensive, so it costs 18, where this costs 16, and then this one costs 14, and then the A and B cost 12. So I try to farm mostly 9A and 9B because I work a lot of mods into my account. I try to get more mods and then using slicing materials. So those are very valuable to me. I also have access to Smuggler's Run 2, which gives me a lot of this 9C material and then also these other ones. But for players who work a lot of mods, and if you're working especially a lot of these 6 dot mods, a huge bottleneck, especially for those very late game players, is going to be the Mark II variable resistors. So the best way to get those, of course, is through you can farm these if you absolutely need to, but also for galactic challenges, if you are maxing out your galactic challenge, I know a lot of players don't want to. They just don't want to go in and knock all this out. They don't want a red box. But if you have access to the red box, these it gives you these Mark II variable resistors. And that really adds up over time for your bottleneck. So my recommendation, you got a red box for galactic challenges if you have the ability to. The higher you can go on these galactic challenges, the more passive slicing material you're going to get. And of course, we have the Smuggler's Run. So Smuggler's Run has all this slicing material as well. You got to do it. Don't skip out on these. It's very quick. Yes, we can't sim them, but they're worth doing. And then of course, if you have Smuggler's Run too, you got to really knock that out. It's very, very important to getting these slicing materials. So that's primarily what you're going to be using as far as the slicing materials. So you're going to be simming 9A, 9B, 9C, and then for those very late game players, maybe 9E if you're really low on those. But otherwise, try to focus on 9A and 9B and working those new mods. Now, as far as the splits on how you want to work your mods. So I would say my recommendation is when you're farming your mods, because we all have different levels that we can spend on our refreshes. So I do 3 crystal refreshes every day for my mods. So that's 150 crystals. Some players do 6, so they do the hundreds. Others can't afford them because they're new players and they're trying to get other things in their account. But the great thing about this method is you don't have to worry about how many crystals you can use, because you're going to set aside days for farming mods and days for farming slicing materials, and then you're going to gauge what your need is and how you prioritize that. So the most common method is 4 days farming mods, 3 days farming slicing material. And what that is going to do is it's going to give you a lot of mods. So the way the math works out, so if we go here, is you're going to earn 240 energy passively throughout the day and 45 free energy in that first free energy that is given to you. So it's a good amount of energy. So if you divide it by, or if you times that by 7 in a whole week, if you do 4 days of farming mods and 3 days of farming slicing material, you're going to have 2,580 energy into your mods, and then 1,935 energy into slicing materials, which equate to about 138 to 161 mod battle attempts. So what this does is it gives you more mods, but a little less slicing material. But the point here is to earn as much mods as you can, work them so that you have a greater amount of potential mods. And this is a great method for mod farming. Next, we have the 3-4 method. So this method, you end up with 1,935 energy for mods and 2,580 energy for slicing material. I use the 3-4 personally. So I understand both. New players, you should do at least the 4 days farming mods, 3 days farming mod energy, but I have the ability to buy mods out of shipments. And then I also have a large amount of high potential mods that I need to work. So I need more slicing material than I do mods. But I would say this, for players who feel like, oh, my mod inventory is full, I don't need more mods, or I'm just working mods, you need new blood in your mods. You should never stop farming mods. Always farm mods. You always have the chance of getting fantastic mods just at when you farm new mods. So farm new mods. Don't ever stop farming mods. You can kind of gauge what you need for slicing material and also energy, but don't feel like you have to stop farming mods, because that is not a good idea. You have to continue bringing new mods into your account and then working them. That's how you get the wide amount of mod depth. But if you feel like you are just going to work on slicing material, or you don't have the mod space, then sell your bad mods. Sell the ones that don't have the potential to hit that 25 speed, but you have to continue getting new mods and working them, selling your old ones that don't hit your standards, and then moving on with it. Another good tip is with your Mark 1 currencies. You're going to be able to buy for very cheap. It's only 100 Mark 1 currencies slicing materials out of here. So it's right next to the credits. You should be buying this. You have to look at what's available there. If you only have a few hundred of them or less, then you should purchase it. If you have because there's always the off balance of those farming nodes where I have thousands of one and then almost none of the other. So you have to look and see. Don't just buy everything that comes out of there, but look and see if it's a slicing material you need, because essentially it's about 50 crystals worth of farming that you would get out of this for 100 Mark 1 currency, and it's a very good deal. So my recommendation, every chance this store refreshes, you should be in here and you should be buying this piece for all players because it is an excellent. If you like this content, go ahead, like and subscribe. If you have any other ways that you farm or any other mod energy farming tips, go ahead and leave a comment on what you do. Otherwise, like and subscribe. And then also, if you watch my other mod guides, they help you with farming mods and how you can earn high potential mods. And if you need to know what that means, go ahead and click this video. Otherwise, thank you. Take care.